From glitches that make the game 3 times as fun to flat out game-breaking bugs, this is 10 glitches in battleglide. Number 1. Wall glitching. If you ever wanted to get out the map just like this, all you have to do is go next to a building, for example, stick a hand through the wall. Next, you will need to lock onto a random NPC and pull towards it. And right when you do that, you need to web out quickly, and you should be inside the building. You could also do the same thing for the tutorial, bank, and office.
And if you didn't know, you could actually swing out here. All you have to do is go to some of these buildings right here. Most of these buildings you can't web onto, see, and they're not actually here, as you can see. But for some reason, these small little buildings that are unfinished, you could web onto. And there's also like a makeshift city in the background, if you never knew that.
Number 2. Super strength. In the game, you can already lift a car with ease, but you can only move it around somewhat easily. So this is where the glitch comes in. All you have to do is go into powers and equip ultra speed. Now you can throw cars across the map with ease. You could also slam a car into another car and watch it go flying. You could also add super punch for a lot bigger push. Number 3. Holding weapons with 2 hands. When or if Battleglide 4.0 comes out, one of the things you will be able to do is grab weapons in the same spot. But for now, we have to use glitches. All you have to do for this to work with a melee weapon is equip ultra speed or slow motion, then get your melee weapon of choice and throw it up in the air. And when it's descending, grab it with both hands at the same time. And it should look something like this. This does work with all the melee weapons in the game. Even your tiny pencil. Hey, it's not tiny, it's average. Sure, keep telling yourself that. If you want to do this with guns, it's a different story. If you do the same thing as you did with the melee weapons, it will look something like this. But for you to grab it correctly, you have to take out the mag, or clip. Is it a mag or a clip? Tell me in the comments. But take out the mag and throw the weapon up with some form of slow motion, and watch your hand get chopped off. Don't worry, all you have to do to get it back is grab it with your other hand. You could do the same thing with rifles, but it just doesn't work correctly, and looks a little janky. And if you didn't know, you could actually double wield the ammo for the guns. Not sure why you'd want to do that, but I guess you can. If you try this with the taser, it will actually let you grab it with both hands, but it won't hold the gun actually straight. The only weapon that you can't do this with, which is pretty obvious, is the shotgun. Number 4. Enemies pre-firing. Have you ever gone to a street fight to see that half of the enemies are already dead? Well, most of the time this is the case, and it happens because when a street fight starts, for some reason in the game's code, all of the criminals shoot. This is also the reason that when you find one of these street fights, you can see enemies shooting at each other. Number 5 through 7. Flying. Number 5. Knife in hand.
The knife can pretty much make anything flyable. What I mean by this is grab any sort of object and grab a knife, put the knife into that object, connect your rope to the knife, and just pull. And you should be flying. There's literally no object in the game that this does not work with. You could even do this with your hand. A car. Even with one of these barrels. If there's an object in this game that you can't fly with the knife, make a video about it and tag me in it. I will respond to it.
Number 6. NPC. Pretty much everyone knows this one, so I'm not going to waste your time.
All you have to do for this glitch to work is go up to an NPC, grab them anywhere on their body, and yes, anywhere, you freaks, then connect a rope to them and just pull.
Number 7, knife and gun. The ones that I just showed you are all pretty straightforward. You have to grab something, put it into something else, and simply pull. This one is pretty much the same thing, but not the same thing. The first thing that you have to do is grab an AK-47, then grab a knife, then put the AK-47 at this sort of angle, grab the knife and put it into the back, and you should start flying.
You could also do this with most weapons in the game. For example, let me spawn in a random weapon like the deagle. Get the deagle, get a knife, and pretty much just put it where the ammo goes. Show you again, and bam.
Now yes, this does make you go really fast, but a weird thing happens when you turn on ultra speed. Watch this. The only way to get back to the map is to restart your game. If you try this in any closed areas in the game, like the bank, office, and your room, you'll just teleport to a random spot in that closed area. But if you try this in a place like the loading screen where it's technically endless space, it won't let you fly. This is most likely due to that you can't jump or move around. Number 8, random invisible platforms. For some reason, on the side of the map, right here, if you try to jump off the side into the water because you realize you've been 4'11" since 5th grade and you realize you are cooked because your mom and dad aren't any taller than 5'2" and you'll never get any girls, you just float. I have no idea why or how this is here, but it is. Oh, and also, if you didn't want to know, it actually takes 20 minutes to get around the entire map just by walking. Number 9, Brige Not Briging. If you have ever tried to go to the other cities in the game, you'll be greeted with a blinding light. This is the case with most of the bridges in the game, besides one. This bridge right here, for some reason, doesn't give you the blinding light, so you can just walk across the bridge freely until the bridge just stops. Number 10, game crash. All you have to do is get 2 tasers, point them at each other, just like this, and then shoot. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Did you know that only 6.7% of people who watch me are actually subscribed? You should totally become part of that 6.7%. Or watch this video right here about what is to come in Battleglide 4.0, or this video YouTube recommends.